Linda, ke a leboga, ke tabile, goba mo. That's going to be a classic. So there's going to be a live streaming of the Bundesliga. And Bundesliga has become more interesting since last year, unlike South Africa, where the Sundowns win every year. Our Bayern Munich didn't win last year. We had another champion.
Bayer Leverkusen won.
Yeah. And so that's going to be interesting.
Tshwane FM 93.6. You are still on the Cape City Dialogues with myself, Khalabi J.K. Pale, together with Umpile Marakalala. We are joined in the studio by the number one citizen of the Federal Republic of Germany in South Africa, Ambassador His Excellency Andreas Peschketo. Guten Abend, Ambassador.
Guten Abend.
Wie geht's Ihnen?
Zu sein. Ja, mir geht's sehr gut. Ich freue mich jetzt. I'm very happy to be here.
Awesome stuff. Now, let's get everyone in. Welcome, and thank you so much that you have joined us. 2 years in South Africa now, arrived in September 2022. How has the country been for you?
Well, the country has been really marvelous. It has been incredible experience. The people are really wonderful. Kind-hearted, warm-hearted people who like to receive visitors and people from abroad, who are very open for cooperation and everything. Of course, the country is beautiful, and then the journey has been interesting also in many senses, also politically with the election in May this year and everything. So yeah, it's been wonderful, and also building and increasing the really deep bilateral cooperation we have between our countries.
And I see on a private side, you've also taken some love to South African languages. One sees you on X sharing updates with South African languages. How has that journey been? Which one has been the easiest? Let me start there.
Well, that's right. Uniso.
I love
that. So when I came, a couple of years back, actually, Bengifika.
Okay.
Ngesizulu Kanngana.
Yeah.
So then I was here, Bengipila Ezweni, and then Bengizama Ukukuluma Nabantu. I started to speak to people.
Yeah.
And then once you start, actually at the beginning it may seem very difficult, but then, people love it when you try.
Yeah.
Like when you go to Germany, you make an effort, you speak German.
Ich habe ein gleiches Erlebnis, weil ich habe ein Wort einen Tag gelernt.
So everybody loves it, and then you make progress.
Sure.
Then of course now mina ngihlalapha ePitoli. So I had to start at least to try some Sepitoli.
Sure.
So actually I started taking Sepedi lessons.
Okay.
So ke ituta Sepedi.
Wow.
A little bit. It's not that easy, but it's good fun, and it helps to Khobolela Lebatu.
Wow. Now you are responsible for South Africa, Eswatini, and Lesotho. What does an ambassador's job entail, His Excellency?
Well, first of all, we are like the official representatives of our countries, like Ambassador Sizani of South Africa in Germany.
In Germany, yeah.
So we have to try to make sure that the political relations on an official level are going smoothly, to establish official contacts and everything. So that's actually quite important. So I work a lot here with DIRCO, with the Ministry of Department of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. So to see that everything runs smoothly, but it goes far beyond that.
Sure.
I mean, we have an area which is called economic diplomacy. Actually, I understand from the new government of national unity that's also a priority for the South African government, economic diplomacy. So we have like 600 German and German South African companies who are active in South Africa and in Germany. Those who are active here in South Africa, they help to create like 100,000 jobs in the country, and many more indirectly. And of course, they're also part of our relations. So as embassies, we try to support their work. to facilitate the conditions under which they work and everything. So that's quite important in economic diplomacy. And then we also have what we call cultural diplomacy. So we have our Goethe Institute, our cultural institute, where you actually can learn German.
Yeah, sure.
In South Africa. So their headquarters is in Joburg, and they have excellent courses in German. But they offer a lot of cultural programs in general. So we try to also showcase German culture, what we try to stand for here in South Africa, but also invite representatives of South African culture to come to Europe, to Germany, to showcase South African culture. So we have quite important projects like, the now world famous Slovo Youth Choir, which travels now to New York, to the US. But they also went a number of times to Germany. So other groups as well to showcase South African culture, because I think this type of cultural exchange is quite important to connect people. And then I think very important is also, diplomacy is on this official level, but we also need to break it down on the people's level.
Yeah.
So we need to really work on people to people. So we have 3 big German international schools in South Africa.
Okay.
One in Pretoria, one in Joburg, another one in Cape Town.
In Cape Town, yeah.
And they offer, international programs which actually lead up to the Matric and the Abitur, which would be the German.
Yeah.
And they have, of course, the majority of students is South African. And they also offer programs, subsidized programs for students from socially disadvantaged areas. Which opens up a lot of opportunities to these students. So I think this is also quite important, to try to organize exchanges and opportunities for people. Of course, there's also the question of tourism.
Sure. So
I think German visitors are South Africa's 3rd largest tourism market. So whenever you go to Kruger or go down to Cape Town.
Cape Town, I know, is one of the favorites.
So I think it's difficult to find a place where you don't meet anybody who speaks German. So for you it would be easy.
Yeah.
For me, when I want to hide away as a German ambassador incognito, it's a bit difficult because everywhere you go, you hear
somebody recognizes you.
Yeah, or speaks German at least.
Sure.
But that's quite important. We are happy about that because I think, the more we can organize meetings between our people, the better for the relationship, of course. And
you touched on it, the economic diplomacy, His Excellency. I know last year the Chancellor of Germany, His Excellency Olaf Scholz, actually paid a state visit to President Cyril Ramaphosa. And being a local, I know one of the companies he visited, he was at BMW in Roslin. But one knows that the German companies also have a huge presence in the Eastern Cape, in the Port Elizabeth, Uitenhage area. And the priorities of these bilateral relations, because South Africa and Germany are actually big partners. I think you are the 3rd biggest partner economically to South Africa. What priorities have you said, probably also with the new government that's now in charge in the form of the GNU?
Well, I think this economic cooperation is really kind of a backbone of our collaboration. In fact, if you want to get familiarized with yourself with the companies we have here in South Africa, we're gonna have a big party on Saturday.
Sure.
It's being called Deutschlandfest.
Okay.
Germany meets Mzansi.
Mzansi, yeah.
So we're gonna have 80 companies, German companies, presenting themselves with stands, introducing themselves, like BMW, which is active in Roslin, like Volkswagen, which is active in Carrera, Mercedes-Benz, Siemens, and many others actually. So it's interesting to look around. So if there's anybody interested, you or your listeners, I think it's a good opportunity to see what we are actually doing. And I think we wanna prioritize this even more.
Sure.
Yeah, because I think with the unemployment, with the opportunities for youth, I think the economic cooperation and the relationship is really a backbone of our collaboration, and it is a win-win situation. We also have South African companies invested in Germany who help to create jobs in Germany, and I think we also try to find a couple of thematic areas where we really try to push processes of modernization forward together. Like, we are talking a lot about energy. A year ago, maybe we would have spoken about load shedding.
Load shedding, for sure.
Now we speak about 200, how many days?
We're now over 6 months, on to the 7th month without load shedding.
Without load shedding.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? And I think we have a cooperation in the modernization of the energy sector, particularly putting focus on modern sources of energy, renewable sources of energy, like solar, like wind, like others, and organizing a kind of a green but socially just transition. So I think some people call it the just energy transition.
Sure.
So we have, from our side, we have invested into that cooperation up until now, like 7 billion rand. Which is quite a substantial amount of money, because we think it's important, to move that forward in both our countries. And in fact, the conditions here in South Africa are much better than in you have been to Germany. You know how little sun we have.
Yeah.
But still we are
very little sun.
Very little sun. But still we are using solar.
Yeah.
Still we are using solar. Here in South Africa, you have a lot of sun, you have a lot of wind. So the conditions are quite good, actually. To add this type of energy to the grid. So that's an important area of cooperation we have. And then I think what we also would like to do is using this economic cooperation to put an emphasis on skills development and job creation. Because I think we have all those young people running around
who need
looking
jobs
for job opportunities, and to offer them praxis-oriented, technical, theoretical training and education is quite something, which would improve their opportunities in the labor market. So I think our companies are offering a lot of programs. We are working. Cooperating with the South African government, with TVET colleges, also to see what we can do together, and that's an area which we would like to actually improve upon and extend.
Tshwane FM 93.6. If you have just joined us, this is a Cape City Dialogues, and we are in conversation with German Ambassador to South Africa, His Excellency Andreas Peschketo. You are catching the latter end of our conversation. His Excellency, before we let you go and release you, the Mzansi meets Germany Fest. Let's talk about it. You said it's happening on Saturday. Where is it happening?
Well, it's happening here in Tshwane.
Okay.
Actually in Grondloef, on the actually opposite the embassy. So you have the Ribeiro Avenue, and just behind it. So we're gonna have a big field, and so we are having like these 80 stands, German companies presenting themselves, German institutions presenting themselves. Actually, our German schools in South Africa are presenting themselves. The Goethe Institute will be there. So we're going to have discussions with political foundations and stuff. So it's going to be very interesting, but we're also going to have, of course, Dijo cha Jeremane. And South African food, so it's going to be fusion. So it's
going to be fusion.
We're going to have Eisbein. but also pap. So
Yeah,
you
I'll
can maybe
appreciate
mix it.
sauerkraut.
And sauerkraut. So that's going to be good. And then we also have a stage program. Lira will be there.
Oh, okay.
Our DJ Ralph Gum will be there as well. We're going to have a TikTok star from Germany, Julia, who will be there as well. So it's going to be quite interesting, a lot of interaction, and it's going to be like a family fest. So you can bring your kids, just have fun, and enjoy the kind of friendship between Germany and South Africa.
I see there'll also be a live streaming of a Bundesliga game, FC Bayern München and FC St. Pauli.
Oh yes, that's going to be a classic. So there's going to be a live streaming of the Bundesliga, and Bundesliga has become more interesting since last year. Unlike South Africa, where the Sundowns win every year, our Bayern Munich didn't win last year. We had another champion.
Bayer Leverkusen won.
Yeah. And so that's going to be interesting. We also going to have like a raffle. So if you come in and try your luck, you may win a ticket by Lufthansa to fly to Germany and many other things. So it's going to be interesting sports discussions, and most of all, just meeting between people.
His Excellency, we have come to the end of our conversation, but as we close it, I'm going to say my goodbyes in German. You say your goodbyes in Sepedi. Is that okay?
Okay, fine. Holokila.
Herrn Peschke, vielen Dank, dass Sie hier bei uns waren, und wir freuen uns, ihn zu haben, und wir wünschen euch einen guten Tag am Samstag, und wir treffen uns irgendwann wieder.
Linda, che alle bocha, che tabile, Hobamo, and Reslo Bonana, ka Mokibelo.
That is Ambassador Andreas Peschke from the Federal Republic of Germany. We were in conversation with him. We take a break and see you after this.